Welcome to Chai with Molly, a show where we celebrate diversity the Canadian way. I am Molly and I look so much forward to seeing you every week on Saturday mornings at 11 a.m. on Rogers Channel 129. So thank you for tuning in. I also want to thank you so much for sending all those emails and phone calls. It means so much to us that you watch our show and that you take the time to write. Also, you can now visit us on the Facebook, Chai with Molly, and we are also on Twitter. So we want to know what you're saying and what you think about our program. Also, if you would like to be a guest on our show or would like to advertise with us, you can call me at 647-979-3220 or visit us on our website, chaiwithmolly.com. Toronto is one of the safest cities in the world, and what makes it so safe is the unique partnership that the Toronto Police has with the community. So if you want to be part of that team, you don't want to miss my next guest, Constable Wendy Drummond. Thank you for being here in the show.
Thank you so much, Molly.
So please tell us, why should people be more engaged and involved with the police?
Well, your community is where you live, you work, you play, and it's where you be. You want it to be the safest as it can be, and we're there to help. Our officers, our motto is to serve and protect. We need your assistance. We can't do it alone. And on a daily basis, we ask for the public's assistance. We ask for their help. And the best way for a community to come together and make it safe is to be a part of it.
Okay, so give us some of the options to our viewers. What are some of the things that they can do? How can they be more involved and engaged?
Well, we do understand that some people may feel apprehensive about coming forward to police, whether it be providing information or assisting, but there are a number of different ways that you can help. There's always Crime Stoppers. Crime Stoppers, you remain anonymously, you provide information, we receive that information and follow up. So there's definitely that aspect, and you can do it in a number of ways. You can call, you can text. They've made it more and more convenient for people to provide information. So there is that way. We have recently taken to asking people to provide photos and uploading them onto our website to assist us in an investigation. Again, that information, we don't need your name, we don't need your number, we don't need to know how to contact you.
So you can remain anonymous?
That's right, that's right. So that's something new that we've began to do in certain investigations where, we have information and we know that people have images, we know people have videos, and information on that phone maybe is critical to our investigation. So again, we appeal for people to provide us with that information.
So how would they upload it? Wouldn't you have to identify yourself?
No, you can upload it through a disk, you can provide it, drop it off at a police station.
Okay.
When you upload it onto our website, we're not asking for any information in regards to where this came from. So that's something new that we have started. It has been beneficial to us. We've received a lot of information that way. Mm-hmm. So it's one more way that we're continuing to want to involve the community and ask for assistance. Okay,
so now talk to us about some of our viewers come from countries where there is basic distrust mm-hmm. of the police. Mm-hmm. How trustworthy is the Toronto Police?
Right, and we do understand that. We know that Toronto has so many cultures, and we try and do our best to reach out to as many communities as we can. We have a number of different liaison officers that work with the different communities, and we really need to get that message across that police are there to help you. On our website, we have information about what the basic steps are if you're stopped by police. Mm-hmm. And it kind of runs through what to expect. So if you are a newcomer to Canada, in Toronto specific, this is what you can expect. If there's something that happens outside of that you feel maybe shouldn't have happened, there's information on that website on how to report that. Okay. So we are very open to having people report things that they feel shouldn't have happened. If they want to report the conduct of an officer, we have it right on our website.
Okay, so in other words, help me understand this. clearly, because this is a matter of concern for a lot of people, is that if you get stopped by a police officer and you feel that he or she does something that shouldn't have happened, so there is a recourse?
Absolutely, and it does go through and it tells you how to proceed, how to report that information.
So in other words, they cannot abuse.
That's right,
Their
absolutely.
power, because it can be intimidating.
Absolutely.
You know, uniform, gun.
Absolutely.
Right? It can be a little
Absolutely,
intimidating.
and we need the public's trust. We need the trust in the public in order for us to do our job properly. So whenever that trust is taken for granted or misused or abused, we need to know about it. We need to know about it, we need to investigate, and in some cases there are circumstances in which an officer's behavior is going to be disciplined. And we want people to know that we take those complaints very seriously. We investigate them. There's the OIPRD that we have in place that is a civilian oversight. So it's not the police investigating, it's an outside civilian body that will investigate the conduct of police. And in some cases there's the SIU, and again that's a civilian body oversight that reviews officers' conduct. So there are a number of checks in place and avenues for people to report conduct that people believe is wrong, perhaps criminal, and we need people to know that, you know, especially if you're coming from another country, police here are your friends. We are here to protect and to serve, and there are checks and balances in place to assist you.
Now we've heard anything you say can and will be held against you. So when people come up to a police officer or maybe go to a police station or maybe online, if they give any information, can any of that be held against you?
No, there is some. There are some areas in which information may not be used, and unless it's obtained lawfully. So there are a number of different things that may protect a person coming forward with information. So that's something they should definitely keep in mind.
Because that's really what people really want to know, is that they may want to help, they may have information, but then they have this fear that if I come up with this information, or if I divulge this, will this be something that would be held against him or her?
Right. Yeah.
And the answer is no.
Well, not in all circumstances, no, absolutely no. Every situation presents its own set of facts and circumstances, so that there is no one blanket yes or no to that statement. There are definitely circumstances in which information will not be used against a person.
Okay, so give us some examples in which the partnership between the Toronto Police and community has worked really well together, and you've been able to apprehend, let's say, the bad guys, get them off the street.
Our relationship with the community continues to get stronger and stronger every year. We are involved with a number of different communities throughout the entire city. We have TAVIS, which has been a tremendous success, and the whole premise behind TAVIS is to help the community help themselves. So we go in to areas in which there is a high rate of crime, in areas in which we feel that need additional officers and resources. We go into those areas, we really liaise with the community. We're there somewhat on a different type of level. We're there as really grassroots, helping them plant their gardens, helping, you know, just beautifying the area, putting in lights to keep it bright at night.
Sometimes it can be as little as that.
Absolutely.
As simple as that.
Absolutely. So it's working on a different level. It's working with the community, having them take back their own neighborhood.
Yes.
We, you know, in a number of these different projects and events, people say, I don't feel comfortable taking my children to the park that's in our area. Well, why is that? You know, well, there's a number of people that are hanging out, and we believe, you know, dealing drugs, and so we talk to them. We find out what they perceive to be the issues.
Right.
So we go in and we address those issues. They see a change. They see that people are no longer hanging around their parks at night. So now they're bringing their kids back. The kids are having a great time. The families are having a great time. So now you've got neighbors talking to neighbors again.
And that's
and
the
they've
key.
taken back their park.
Yes.
So now, you know, once we've gone in and we've enabled them to take back that park, we want them to keep that park.
Yes.
So we try and educate them as to how they can do that, little things that they can do by calling police and reporting to us when activity is taking place.
Okay.
So that they see when they call, we're going to come in, we're going to ensure that those people aren't going back into the parks, and that they can keep those parks for their kids. And they see those benefits and they continue to do it. That way now they've taken ownership, and their actions have caused their kids to be happy again in their own community. And that's when it really starts to work, is when the community is able to make the changes, keep the changes going, and they're positive changes, and that's when we really reap the benefits of these type of community projects.
So if there's somebody watching right now who is concerned about some activities taking place in the neighborhood, could be cars that are parked outside their driveway, or maybe something happening in their parks. Well, it's a little bit cold right now, but still, where should they go? Should they go to their own division, or can they just call
the non-emergency? They can call the non-emergency line,
which
and
is
it's 416-808-2222. Now that number, excuse me, goes to our main non-emergency police line, and that's for all divisions.
Okay.
You report to where you're calling from, the area, what the issue is. If it's something like a parking complaint, you don't necessarily even have to leave your name.
Okay.
Definitely a benefit to us if we need to contact you for further information, but that's a number that you can call. If you know the division in which you live, you can call the division, put in a community complaint, advise the person at the front desk of what's happening, and they may be able to call the radio room and have a car sent around. A community as a whole can get in touch with the community response office, talk to them about complaints that are happening specific to a division, and perhaps arrange a meeting to speak with area residents and how they can address the issue themselves. Ask for tips of how to protect your home, different environmental things that they can do to increase the security of their home, such as the lighting, keeping your hedges and the like trimmed as not to block windows, you know, keeping your mail from building up, keeping newspapers from piling up on your front porch, having lights on timers, this type of thing. So if you have a meeting with one of your community officers, again, it's all that community building and sharing of information to make it safer.
That's right, and that partnership, taking ownership of your community and your neighborhood, and then working in partnership with the Toronto Police, and they are really here to help and serve.
We can't do it without you.
All right, thank you for being here.
Thanks, Molly.